the much anticipated update on the F30. As promised, I wanted to bring you some F30 content, but as of late, I've been just going through a nightmare of things with state inspection on the F30. So the purpose of today's video is not going to be really an instructional one. It's more just me explaining the situation, kind of what happened with inspection, failing inspection, and how I finally got my stickers. So we're actually going to go wash the F30, get it nice and clean. We've got some snow and some salt on it, so I'm going to go take it to the car wash. Now, to catch you guys up on just the timeline of this entire situation, my inspection sticker from last year expired this past September. It is now February that I'm filming this video. Back in September, I went to go get my state inspection. At that time, I was running my Catless downpipe as well as a stage 2 93 octane tune from boot mode. So my thought process there was, okay, I'm gonna revert back to my stock tune, lock the DME, and get everything kind of back to OEM as far as the software goes. Foolish me, I didn't understand readiness. Your sensors like your O2, your evap, and all that needs to be in a ready state. When I had my tune flash back to stock, I hadn't driven the car enough yet for the sensors to basically reset themselves and be in a ready state. When I got to the state inspection place, I, per usual, gave them my keys, my registration, all that good stuff. About 15 minutes later, they came back with a rejection sticker. That was pretty unfortunate because I really thought at that point going back to stock was gonna fix it, because through boot mode, I was able to turn off my check engine light. That's a cool feature of it, but what I didn't understand was when boot mode turns off the check engine light, they're basically doing that by just totally deactivating the sensor, so the sensor will not read ready. Long story short, the F30 was not ready, was not prepared for the state inspection, and I failed. Before we get too in depth on a lot of talking, heads up, this is going to be a lot of talking in this video. Let's go ahead and just hit the car wash. F30 needs a quick little rinse, get some salt and snow off, and we'll get back into the state inspection story. F30 is all cleaned up, guys. It's been like 2, maybe 3 months since I've actually put a washment on this car, but it cleans up so nice, even in the dead of winter. Without going any more on this, let's jump back into the state inspection story. At this point, I have a rejection sticker on my windshield. Not sure what I'm gonna do. The way I saw it, I had a few different options. One, I could put the stock downpipe back in, which has obviously the catalytic converter, drive the car a bunch, let the sensors go back to ready. Now that was probably my least favorite option. Option B was using what's called a spark plug fouler. I'll try and put a little image of it like right here. That basically extends your O2 sensor off of your downpipe, so that way it's detecting less fumes, less unburned fuel, therefore not running your check engine light. That was pretty much it. Either going back to stock or figuring out a way to make the spark plug fouler work. I decided first I would try the spark plug fouler. They're about $5. You can pick them up from just about any auto parts store. I will throw a link down below to the one that I got, but just a heads up, it didn't work for me. It did fit into the downpipe. I couldn't get the O2 sensor to work because the threads were tapered, so as the O2 sensor went in, it was butting up against the bottom of the fouler and it wouldn't sit entirely. So I tried drilling it out with a drill bit, didn't work. Decided that the best option was just gonna be, unfortunately, going back to the stock downpipe.
Oh yeah, mats are dry, kid. Mats are wicked dry.
Nothing like a nice, hot, clean F30 in the middle of freaking February. Also, guys, if you're into content creation, map out your videos. Definitely helps a lot. Keeps your shit organized. Keeps your organized.
Keeps your bleepity, bleepity, bloopity, bloppity
organized. The decision was made to just unfortunately revert everything back to stock with the downpipe, the stock tune, and that's just the way it was gonna be. I didn't really feel like going another route and keep trying things, because at this point it's now February. I've been running a rejected sticker for September, October, November, December, January, and now February. The rejection stickers, at least here in Massachusetts, are good for 60 days. So I really wasn't driving the F30 a whole lot, and that's why I haven't had much content on it. But to get back to what I was saying, I had to put the stock downpipe in, which was basically an install and uninstall all by myself. So I will go ahead and link my Catless downpipe install video right up here or here. I forget which side it's on. You guys can go check that out. That goes a little more in depth on the actual install, but that's what I had to do. Basically get under the car, pull the downpipe out, put the stock one back in, and go get my stickers. So next up after I got the downpipe in was doing the drive cycle.
Got the monies. Big baller boy.
Yeah, we got some 20, just one $20 bill.
120.
Yeah.
Not 120, just 120.
No, just crispy 20.
I hate you.
Today's video is most definitely sponsored by VP, guys. This brand has been amazing going through this entire process. So John, if you watched my video, thank you so much for sending this out. It was a huge help during this entire, for lack of a better term, show. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the OBD reader. If I didn't mention that, this is an OBD diagnostic tool. Any cars that have an OBD 2 port, you can use this on. Comes in this really nice hard case, so you won't damage it. And this is the device itself. So you have the controller, about a 3-foot cord, and then your OBD connection right here. What we want to do is grab the device, grab the OBD side, and on the F30, your OBD is going to be down by your footwell. It's a little tricky to get in there. Once you do it a few times, you can kind of get it and feel it out, but now it's plugged in. And you can see the VPeak device just turned on. We have a couple different settings within this menu. We have the OBD reading tool. We have the monitor tool, which is what I used very frequently to check the readiness of my sensors. We also have a battery check, and you can change up some settings on the device itself, but these two up top are gonna be the main ones you're gonna use. Initially, we can go ahead and hit the OBD. It's gonna basically grab the diagnostics from the car. We are reading no codes right now. We have 2 sensors that are reading not ready. We have 6 sensors that have completed their readiness cycle and are reading ready. Now, if we hit the OK button, we can go and actually read the codes if there were any. You can read your current DTCs, pending, as well as permanent, but as we said before, there shouldn't be any codes in here, so we can just cycle through. It's actually reading an evaporative emission system, and this is because we have the Catless downpipe back installed. So you might see a PO440 code. I think the last one I had while I had the Catless downpipe on was a PO420 code. So just keep your eyes out for that. And then we can go back here. If you wanted to erase the codes, you could do that. Just keep in mind that erasing the codes will reset all the sensors, and you'll have to do your drive cycle over again if you're trying to get them to read ready. If we go back to the main menu, we can hit this second icon here, and this will again pull the diagnostics from the vehicle. You can read the sensor's readiness from the last time you cleared all error codes or just this drive cycle. For this example, we'll go this drive cycle, and now we can see basically what you would look at on your inspection sheet, or what the inspection shop would look at when they pull the diagnostics on your car. All of these here are your sensors. So for example, we have the CAT sensor, we have the EVAP sensor, we have the O2 sensor, EGR. In Massachusetts, I'm not sure how it works in your state, but you're allowed to have 1 sensor reading not ready. So I believe in our scenario, there's 8 sensors. I was able to pass inspection with 7 out of 8 sensors reading ready. So we have the O2 sensor, the EVAP, and the CAT that are reading not ready. That could be a couple different options. I'm not sure if basically the little grayed out X means that it's disabled, essentially because we're catless, or sometimes a red X will pop up, and I believe that means it's reading ready, it's completed, but it is basically running a trouble code. So you'd basically have to continue driving until all of these sensors are reading ready, assuming you're back on your OEM catted downpipe. Again, I've used this so many times, but we're gonna go ahead and just unplug that, set that aside for now. VPeak was actually nice enough to also send me their Bluetooth module. So this is essentially the same idea. It comes in a smaller case, and what we have in here is just a small OBD2 unit. So this will plug again right into your OBD2 port, so we can go ahead and put that in. Now what you want to do is get your phone out. Go ahead and open up your phone. In this case, I'm using the app Beamer Code. There are a few different third-party apps that the VPeak device will work with. In their instructions, in their manual, it will tell you which ones are applicable and will work with the VPeak device. But in this case, I'm using Beamer Code, so we'll go ahead and open up Beamer Code. I'll rate it another time. We also want to make sure that our Bluetooth is turned on, and we're going to first hit connect. Before this screen comes up, you should see a list of devices. What you're going to want to do is click the VPeak OBD2 scanner. Next, you want to click on your chassis. So in my case, I have the BMW 3 Series F30. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that one and hit continue. And now you will hear it starting to check the car, reading the VIN, identifying control units, and we just need to patiently wait for this to reach 100%. Once you've gotten to 100%, you will see this main menu pop up. And this video's purpose is not really to go in depth on this. I will be making videos on coding your car in different ways later on, but just so you know, you have access to coding different features within the vehicle. If you wanted to use this device as an OBD reader, you could go down to this little gear setting, scroll down to the bottom of that page and hit Beamer Link. There is an app, it does cost $31.99. That will basically give you all sorts of different data and allow you to read your OBD diagnostics through the Bluetooth, so you wouldn't actually have to have a device wired to it, and it would all just be relayed right to your phone. I'm gonna go ahead and just unplug this for now and set that aside. But for my scenario, this device was key for making sure that my sensors were ready. I basically refreshed this page more times than I could count, just constantly checking to see if sensors were ready. And I had to do a drive cycle, and I'm not gonna go in depth on explaining a drive cycle. I will put the image that I used right here. And that basically goes in depth on BMW's recommendation for a drive cycle. So it starts with turning your car on with a cold start, allowing it to idle for 3 minutes, and then I believe you go and accelerate up to 20 to 30 miles an hour. You drive on that speed for 4 minutes, and then without stopping, you slowly accelerate to 40 to 60 miles an hour, and basically you travel that way for 15 minutes. But long story short, you cannot go over 60 miles an hour, and you cannot get your RPMs over 3,000. So it's a really tough thing to do. I recommend doing it in the middle of the night when there are no cars on the road. And a lot of the times you'll have to do the drive cycle a few times, like myself, in order to get all of the sensors, or 7 out of the 8 sensors, to read ready. After putting on the OEM catted downpipe, reverting my tune back to stock, locking the DME, and then going through drive cycles, I was finally able to get this lovely sticker right here that says this F30 is street legal and it passed with flying colors. So guys, I just want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to VPeak. It really would have been just a gamble at that point, even knowing if my sensors were reading ready. If you go through state inspection a few times and it still is being rejected, then you have to go to a special emissions center, which is just a headache on its own. So if you're ever in a situation where you failed inspection, or you just want to get ready for inspection, this is such a great tool. I will have a link down below to these guys, and you can go pick this up for yourself. Make sure you're not gonna fail your next state inspection, because it is a nightmare. But guys, I just wanted to make today's video not as necessarily an instructional thing, but just something to kind of walk you through the process that I had to go through to get the sticker. A lot went into trying to decide different options. I know there's a few other options that I did not try, which we can talk about down in the comments below. I will start a thread there if you guys want to chime in. Anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you again for watching, for clicking on this, sticking around to the very end. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, subscribe, keep elevating. I'll see you next time. Peace out.